So you're thinking about moving to Nashville. Well, here are a few of my personal pros and cons of living in Nashville, Tennessee. All right, number one, it's going to be a huge con. It is transit, whether or not it is public transit or just commute time period. I just feel like, well, first off, Nashville does not have the infrastructure for public transit, and with everybody moving to Nashville, you're gonna need to get used to gridlock traffic, longer commute times than usual, and a lack of public transit. But if you work from home, that doesn't necessarily create a problem for you, but it's just something to keep in mind. For me personally, I find this to be both a pro and a con, is the Southern hospitality. It depends on how you really look at the Southern hospitality, but everybody is super nice. We really don't have anybody really get in your face and tell you that they don't like you or they don't like what you're doing. But on the other hand, they really use like phrases like "bless your heart" or "ain't that nice" or things like that. That really, I think we need to come up with a few more words, such as "you're wrong" or, well, let's just leave it at "you're wrong." People just don't really say what they're thinking. And for a lot of people, especially for me, I'm coming from a different area and I'm used to people telling me what they think, not really being passive aggressive. So the Southern hospitality is nice, but then at the same time, you really don't get to see people's true, what they're truly thinking. And I think that a lot of times it can be a little bit refreshing if you have somebody tell you what they're truly thinking. So that, to me, is both a pro and a con at the same time. One of the major pros for Nashville in particular is the food. There's a huge variety of food, whether you go down to the farmer's market or food truck district and you get yourself some of them gourmet grilled cheese, which are delicious, or if you want some barbecue, there's plenty of places to find, especially with the Nashville hot chicken. I mean, come on. They named a chicken flavor after Nashville. So you kind of have to, take that for what it is. But at the same time, because of the food and the basically the nightlife or Nashville gaining that reputation, it is a huge tourist destination. So if you're not really used to the touristy, the couple times a year that you really get the influx of tourists, that can become a con because it gets very congested, if you will. Everybody moving to Nashville, it can go either way. The housing market has gotten very competitive. Home prices have risen. The housing demand is very high, so homes don't necessarily sit on the market for very long. And that's why I have to say, give me a call, shoot me a text, and that way you can get on the inside of what's going on in the market. Maybe you can have more of a competitive advantage of getting the house that you are really wanting without having to kind of get your heart broken, if you will. Con of Nashville kind of is the housing demand, but that's because everybody's moving here, so it kind of makes it more of a challenge to get into the right house at the right time. A lot of homes are going multiple offers. A lot of homes are going under contract before they even hit the market. So that's where you really have to get ready. Get with a lender, get with a good agent. If it's not me, find a good agent that you are comfortable with working with, and that way you have the best chance of getting that house that really speaks to you. With the housing demand, as much as it's a kind of like a con, I have to say the pro on that side is, yes, home prices have risen, but everything else has generally stayed the same. So the cost of living, keep in mind, we don't have state sales tax. So the cost of living still is relatively low. Gas prices are relatively low comparatively to other areas. Overall, everything is cheaper. Taxes are cheaper. Your bills are going to be way cheaper. I don't know about all of the areas out on the outskirts, but I know relatively, my complete utilities bill is only around $150. That includes gas, electric, your trash, and water. Yeah. So that's around $150 a month for me. I have to say, like, that is probably the cheapest that I've had. And it's consistently that price, whether it's summer or winter, it's consistently that price. So that is a major pro of the Nashville area, is the cost of living. Yes, home prices are up there, but general cost of living is still low. So you get a lot of bang for your buck. Buddy talks about this, and it is both a pro and a con, is the weather here in Nashville. The weather, we get all seasons, very, very mild winters. In fact, we just had a snow day the last week, and there was no snow on the ground. So that gives you an indication of what they consider snow. And when I say no snow on the ground, I mean I had a dusting on the top of my house and absolutely no snow on the ground. But we have very harsh summers, especially in the middle of the summer. The humidity gets up there, and I know there's other areas that have humidity, but the thing is, here you really very rarely get that cross breeze to break through the humidity. So it is hot, and it's generally around 4 o'clock-ish in the afternoon that it is the hottest, and I recommend everybody just stay inside. And if you don't stay inside, get hydrated. It's not a bad thing. You kind of get used to it, but for your first couple of summers here, it is insane. Sometimes the humidity literally feels like a blanket on your back. So just keep that in mind. The humidity is insane in the summer, but our summer's cut off around October, and it seems to get nice. Overall, I think summer for me, what I've experienced, it's only 3 months out of the year. And really, it's only maybe 1 or 2 of those months that heat really gets to you. So to sum it all up, Nashville, great place to live. Cost of living low. Yes, home prices up there. Cost of living still low. Equals itself out. If you need to commute back and forth to work, think about where you want to live, how far from work you want to live, because your commute times are pretty much going to double with the amount of people that are moving here. So really take that into consideration. If you don't mind traveling 45 minutes to an hour to get to work, then you can start looking at the surrounding areas of Nashville. If you really want to be within walking distance or the walkability, then let's look at the downtown area of Nashville instead of looking at your Franklin, Brentwood, or your Sumner County, Hendersonville, White House, those areas. So really, let's just schedule a phone call, guys. Listen, if you have any questions, or you just want to kind of see what Nashville's all about, I am going to be making videos weekly. I'm going to try to make videos touching on all the major neighborhoods of Nashville, all the major areas, the pros and cons of each one of those areas in particular. So if you're looking to get content and to get the inside scoop of what Nashville truly is like, please hit the subscribe button, hit that like button. It really helps me out. And if you want to give me a quick phone call or shoot me a quick email, I'm going to link my email down below, as long as with my personal cell number. And just shoot me a text, shoot me an email, give me a phone call, and I'll see you guys in the next one.